Well, they're still getting their heads around American football over here in Munich. Everyone keeps telling me Jeff Saturday is coaching the Colts.
I'd be shocked as well.
Oh my God, what?
Tell me why I am a candidate you would consider in any role to do this.
Well, I'm over here in Germany, resume handy, to see if the Bucks and Seahawks need any help before they kick things off internationally in Week 10. And according to my sources, Greg was in line to become the Lions' new defensive backs coach. That is, until he switched and picked against the Lions on air last week.
I'm not letting you have a prime number.
On Aaron Rodgers? You stop it. Don't you dare.
I'm switching to the Packers.
Oh, Greg, when will you learn? Game Day View presented by Mercedes-Benz starts now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Game Day View, Week 10 edition. Patrick Claybon here with Greg Rosenthal and Cynthia Freeland. The Lions pick situation didn't work out for Greg, but we got more games. We are without our fearless leader and global traveler, Rachel Bonetta, who is in Germany. Well, still taking shots at you, Greg.
Right, still humbling me from across the ocean. That's just like how the way every week's going to start now.
Well, it gets better.
It's your own fault, actually.
I know. It's your fault you didn't pick your Lions.
Wait.
You should. I'm giving you a stray too.
Blaming Cynthia for your own pick.
Okay. Yep,
That
you're
you
right.
changed
You know what?
during the show.
It's all my fault. You're right. I'm so
just saying,
sorry,
you should
Greg.
have had faith in your team. You should have had faith.
Rachel, we miss you. We do have your picks here. We've got them stored digitally, so you're on the show too. Speaking of picks, I'm a humble man normally, but this chair is my source of power. I want to talk about me and how I have a commanding one-game lead over Cynthia Freeland. I feel like the T1000 is chasing me.
I don't like this.
When does
this
it
is
happen?
where I fall apart every year. It's a tight race though. This is a big week.
What?
Let's go.
You're 2 games behind too. It's coming.
It's coming.
I mean, look, it's going to be interesting. I'm still, actually wallowing in my apology to make sure that I've apologized enough to you for forcing you to switch your pick.
Yes. Still waiting on the apology from very mean Cynthia Freeland.
Oh, so mean.
First
That's
and
right.
foremost,
We're back to Cynthia's a bully. That's right.
We've got to address the most influential news story regarding outcomes of this football season, and that's the injury to Josh Allen's throwing elbow. According to Bills head coach Sean McDermott, Josh Allen is hour to hour, so that really elevates the injury designation game. He hurt his elbow late in Week 9, and I got to be honest, this makes picking this game extremely difficult. Not knowing who the starting quarterback is has an impact, especially when the starting quarterback is that man who's the entire offense. So, Cynthia, tell us about the game.
Well, look, until I hear that he's not playing, I'm going to assume that he's playing. And Josh Allen last week showed us that his legs were really, really valuable. And then I know about Case Keenum, too. And I know about the fact that they also know that they need to keep him from pressures away. So I'm not adjusting anything. I have to be here at 2:30 in the morning. I can adjust it then if we hear anything new. I'm going 28-20 in favor of the Bills. I do actually want to talk about TJ Hawkinson because I want to talk about the fact that there is no, Jordan Poyer's already out. Perhaps Matt Milano's not there. We know there's no Micah Hyde. We saw how they're going to potentially use TJ Hawkinson, and I think that's going to be valuable, as I do believe that Leslie Frazier isn't going to let a situation where Justin Jefferson runs all over this defense happen. So if you're looking for a fun fantasy pickup, this could be the one. And look, I still have a pretty big win for the Bills, which means they're going to have to stay throwing late into the fourth quarter.
All right. Also, Rachel has a tight one in this one, but the Bills winning 24-23. Cynthia has some confidence in the Bills defense stopping Justin Jefferson. I don't necessarily feel the same way. Let's gaze upon the numerals and what Justin Jefferson has done. Also what this Bills defense has done in the past few weeks. On passes of 10 or more air yards with this banged up Bills secondary, they've given up a passer rating of 105 since Week 6. That's the #1 pass defense in the world, seeing a significant decline as injuries, especially the one to Jordan Poyer, piled up. On those types of passes, Justin Jefferson leading the leagues in yards over expectation. The Bills have also played more man as the season has gotten later. Justin Jefferson, the #1 wide receiver in the NFL against the man coverage.
I mean, all his numbers are good.
Yeah, the numbers are good because he's good.
I'm not saying he's not good. I didn't say he's not good.
No, he's very good. That's not enough for me to pick the Minnesota Vikings, though. I do have them having a few points, but this is a win by the Buffalo Bills, 26-23.
Yeah, I have a similar margin because, we're thinking the that Josh Allen may or may not play. But that number at the bottom of your screen where the Bills are only 3-point favorites, to me that indicates that maybe Case Keenum is playing, or that number is sort of assuming he's playing. And I think another reason why is because this Vikings offense can do a lot on the ground, getting the ball to the outside. Yes, I'm picking Buffalo because I think their defense will be good enough. But if you saw what the Jets did a week ago, especially getting the Bills secondary into the running game is a key factor here. You mentioned Matt Milano. He might play, but Tremaine Edmonds is going to miss this game. Greg Rousseau is out for the Bills. They're a little short-handed, and I thought their safeties and their cornerbacks, when you get them involved and needing to tackle, you can make some big plays. So Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, think they'll be fine.
I think it's funny we all chose to talk about something Vikings because we didn't know what to think about the Bills.
Yeah, it's like
who's
what do we
playing,
say
what's going on?
about
Because there's
Buffalo?
so many good things about. I mean, Stephon Diggs. We have so many good things to say about Buffalo, but we all were like, oh, we'll be nice. Well, I have to talk about that.
We're concerned about the mechanized thrower of footballs who dominates everything. He plays, we feel a lot better. On the other side, though, Kirk Cousins 2-17 in games where the opponent is 4 games over 500, which feels unfair that it's always Kirk getting that comparison because that's a tough game for anybody. But
They like make up brand new stats just to make Kirk look bad at this point.
We're with you, Kirk. We put you shirtless on TV a lot this week. That could be a Case Keenum revenge game in Buffalo. It's also a revenge game, if you haven't heard, in Green Bay. Mike McCarthy spent 13 seasons with the Packers, the second most wins in franchise history, behind some guy named Lambeau. So, a revenge game in Lambeau Field. The Cowboys are favored by 4.5 points. How do you feel, Mr. Rosen?
I feel like that's not enough, that the Cowboys will win by 10 points because we know about the defense, but the offense showed me something before that bye week when they started using Dak Prescott a little more in the running game. This was just a sight for sore eyes, wasn't it, Patrick? It's like we're confident enough to call some designed runs for Dak Prescott. We know he can get a 3rd and 1. We know he can do a zone read, but he's also feeling comfortable enough to scramble. And oh, by the way, this Cowboys offensive line, which everyone told me was going to be a problem this year, is awesome run blocking. And there's a drive every week that the Packers defense just cannot get off the field. It lasts about 8 or 9 minutes. It takes the soul out of all those fans in Lambeau, and I think that drive happens this week for the Cowboys.
Just one? Okay, look, I'm with Rachel actually in terms of the margin. I have a 7-point victory as well. I have 26-19 in this matchup. I really just want to talk about the front for the defensive situation for the Cowboys. This is the #1 pressure percentage. This is a situation where, I don't know, if you're just going to have a problem in any direction. And the Packers O-line has really been letting Aaron Rodgers down. He's under considerably more pressure. Now, it's different pressure, like if you look at the exact number, because Aaron Rodgers scrambles quite a bit. But if you talk about the types of pressure that turns into sacks, you see Micah Parsons. Like, that's what he does. So this is going to be a tough situation for an O-line that's been dicey. And is Aaron Jones going to play? There's a lot of question marks for the Packers here. So nice touchdown win for the Dallas Cowboys. I almost said the Packers, but
yeah, it's like, whoa.
Hard to not
it's
say.
It's getting weird just picking against them every week.
I know.
And honestly, that plays a factor into how I'm picking this game as well. But we start off in looking at what this defense is up against, and that is Dak Prescott. And since Dak Prescott returned to the field in Week 7, he's got 1 incompletion against the blitz. Literally 1. His passer rating is pie in the sky. We don't know a lot about passer rating. It's tough to explain, but it's the best in the NFL against the blitz. The Packers defense has been blitz happy, maybe to cover up some insufficiencies all season, but they're blitzing at the 2nd highest rate in the NFL.
Missing Rashawn Gary, too.
Yeah, to these results. Like, this is happening week after week. The Packers offense is some sort of torture device at this moment. Despite all those things, I'm still only taking the Cowboys by 3 points because I can't quit Aaron. I just can't do it. He's been through a lot. Maybe 12 will consult his various means of dealing with things, some astrological implements after this one. We've seen him break those down with Rachel Bonetta. In fact, Rachel is in Germany right now, literally beside herself, looking ahead at Seahawks Bucks in Munich.
Did you hear the NFL is coming to Germany this week? What do you think?
I know. This show told me. Gameday View, my favorite. Oh, I love that show. There's that small little man. So small little man. He can do lots of push-ups. So smart, so strong, but so smart. Oh, I like the girl. The smart woman. The smart woman on that show I love. She is so smart, so beautiful. Patrick is good too. Do you have a pick for the games this weekend? I'm going to go with the Bucks because I love Tom Brady. I love that guy, Geno Smith. Geno, yes. Geno. I wonder if they are missing Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson. The scary sandwich man. Oh, the high knees on the airplane man. Mr. Unlimited. No, there's no way. They miss. Absolutely not. I just love the NFL. The players have such attitudes and the chains, they are so cool. Ah, yes. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? The Lions. The Lions. You've not been watching the football, have you? No. But I love the man that drinks all the beers and does the push-ups. He's scary. He's scary, I love him. He cries a lot. Shall we get another beer? Ah, no. I'm on the TB12 diet. Yes, it's just 12 breaths a day. You are looking good. It works. Trust me.
Oh, we're looking ahead to Seahawks and the Buccaneers and more from Rachel Bonetta from Munich. The beer as well as the salt from the pretzel getting in the beer, that's a lot to deal with.
I loved how she was sitting, too.
I just love that they're such fans of our show. The deep takes on my push-ups. It's great.
Yeah, we've got international appeal, especially Greg. Just everybody's about this.
No.
Like David Hasselhoff. You're the David Hasselhoff of our show.
And Greg Rosenthal. Those are two things that we want from Greg. We also want commentary on Geno Smith, who is an MVP candidate, but he can't get favored in Munich against the Bucs, who are favored by 2.5. What are we doing, Greg?
The Bucs have been favored every week this year, and they have a losing record, and they're going to lose again to this Buccaneers team. And I'm not going to talk, against the Seahawks team, I'm not going to talk about Geno Smith. I'm going to talk about the Buccaneers defense, and I'm going to do that by showing you a play from week 4. And you might be asking me, why are we watching a Patrick Mahomes play?
Why are we watching a Patrick Mahomes play from week 4, Greg?
That was the last time the Buccaneers forced a turnover. Can we make a play? Can we make a play, Todd Bowles? Like that, their whole defensive structure is supposed to be we stop the run and then we're going to blitz and we're going to make big plays. And they've got great players, and yet they don't make any big plays. And now they're going up against Geno Smith, who doesn't let the opponent make any big plays. Don't think about that pick 6 last week. Just ignore that ever happened. He's been making great decisions under pressure. He's been making great decisions against the blitz and when he showed disguise coverages, because he's a quarterback that wins from the neck up, Cynthia. Not just Tom Brady. He's kind of like a mini Tom Brady, but he's younger.
Why am I getting yelled at
Tom
here?
Brady.
Just throwing that
Mini
in there.
Tom Brady, but he's younger.
I don't know how Geno feels about that one, but you know who does force turnovers, Greg?
Ooh.
You know a team that's in Munich that gets turnovers? That would be the
Bayern?
2022 Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
They do it. In fact, they do it to a very high extent. They are top 10 in forcing turnovers in 2022. The season-long Seahawks defensive stats are lying to you. Yes, it's the same team, but this group that's on the 4-game win streak, they haven't seen an opponent score 24 points during that streak. They're playing a team that hasn't scored 24 points since week 4. The Seahawks taking the ball away to a top 10 extent against the team that, while they haven't scored, they haven't really been turning the ball over. How risky is Tom want to make this situation against Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks? I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested to see Tariq Woolen and Mike Evans, the physicality matchup there. I've got the Seahawks winning this one in Munich, 24-21.
Wow, 3 of us on the underdogs. Are we going meme alert here?
No.
Oh.
And this is where I gain that game back on you, Patrick.
Oh.
And actually, it's 23-22. But so your 24, your notes about the 24 points, they all hold true because it's only 23-22 in this matchup. I want to talk about Leonard Fournette, though, because that's going to be the key in this matchup. We talk about weird tendencies, and I say weird tendencies meaning things that haven't worked, that they haven't solved, right? If something stops working, you got to change it up. Otherwise, something about definition of, insanity, etc. But I think when you look at Leonard Fournette and how they're using him, it's outside runs, and that's an area where, there it is, where we go. We got it. A bit more of an outside run that will be a source of success in this one. I don't think I want to get into a situation where Tom Brady's throwing deep and those young corners have a chance to do anything nuts. I think I want to try to keep it on the ground, keep it nice and steady, don't turn the ball. Don't put it in a situation to turn the ball over, 23 points. There you go.
I know how you talk to NFL teams and stuff. Yeah, you should call up your friends on the Bucs. Tell them, just give it to Lenny Fournette. As a Seahawks
Todd,
homer
it's Cynthia.
Right now,
Hold on.
I'm fine with that plan.
I got the international rate out. Here we go. Todd, it's Cynthia. Use Leonard Fournette. Got it.
There it is.
Thank you.
Said it.
Thank you.
And perhaps one of the more concerning things said about Tom Brady all season, Cynthia Freeland saying, we'll keep Tom from throwing deep.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying keep him from doing it. I'm saying whatever. That's
Play
so
it safe, Tom.
controversial.
We get it.
Cynthia the bully. Every single segment. Cynthia the
NFL
bully.
Plus, the league's new exclusive video streaming subscription service. NFL Plus has your game day covered with live, local, and primetime regular season and postseason games right there on your phone or tablet. NFL Plus available in the NFL app and at NFL.com. Subscription plans start at just $4.99 a month. Fans can visit plus.nfl.com and get a free trial today. Kyler, Matt, who is playing quarterback in the Rams-Cardinals game? Do we know? How do we pick it? We'll try next on Game Day Live.
Sorry, Cynthia.
It is time for the Drive to Excellence, presented by Mercedes-Benz. The Los Angeles Rams are favored by 3 points. That's information that's readily available to you against the Arizona Cardinals. The real information is the man to my left has not been wrong about the Rams since week 1, Greg.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep that streak going with a surprising pick. I'm going to take the Rams to win this game. I know the quarterback situation is up in the air for both teams, but even if John Wolford is out there, it doesn't matter because the Rams defense will be out there. Jalen Ramsey was fired up after that Bucs loss. And he was still fired up on Friday saying how well they're playing. I'm not a man to doubt him. And if he wants to think about good times for the Rams, just think back to that playoff game when they only gave up 12 points. Just think back to week 3 when they didn't give up a single touchdown against Kyler Murray. This defense for the Rams is still healthy enough. It's still got Jalen Ramsey, still got Aaron Donald. So you can play Bryce Hopkins at quarterback. You can play Wolford. It doesn't matter. Rams are winning.
Okay. Well,
I don't really feel that confident, but if I say it confidently,
Okay.
it'll happen.
Okay, great. Well, I'm taking the Cardinals
okay.
23-22 in this matchup, and because even though they have Aaron Donald, who I think there is no better defensive player, maybe even player at his position at this year, I will never take that away. But they're not getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And Kyler Murray, when you don't have him under pressure, yeesh, look out. Not only could he run for all of the yards, but now that he's got more of his weapons back, and of course DeAndre Hopkins makes a big difference. But realistically, it has come down to Kyler Murray, and when he has just a little smidge more time, it's really difficult for opposing defenses. And as much as I admire Jalen Ramsey and I love how fired up he is, he can't be everywhere. They could throw it away from him to the other side. Maybe Zach Ertz, stay away from Jalen Ramsey.
You do worry if Kyler plays, is he going to run as much?
Yeah, dealing with the hamstring injury is another thing. And as Cynthia mentioned, the fact that Jalen Ramsey is there, and he could travel with Nuke Hopkins. And I think that's the biggest part of this game, aside from the fact that we aren't sure if it's going to be Kyler or Matthew Stafford. But since Nuke Hopkins arrived, he is playing some of the best football he has in his career. He's been one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, I think number 2 in terms of yardage since he got back from his suspension. And if it's Kyler, if it's not Kyler, no matter how things go, throughout his history, DeAndre Hopkins has carried teams with bad quarterbacks. He's one of the shining spots on this Cardinals roster. That the only reason he's there is because of a donation from Bill O'Brien in terms of talent. It's Nuke Hopkins. I think it's a 23-18 win from the Cardinals.
So you're giving
Where's
it to
your
me.
Just
and
Greg?
it's a Just Greg on
Where's
the
your
Rams.
Just Greg?
I mean,
Here it is.
Ellis, my daughter, don't tell me I don't love you. I picked the Rams this week. They're going to do it because of my pick. They're going to.
Just made it worse.
I made it worse.
Because now.
Just say, don't say,
Either
I,
way.
don't, don't say I didn't do
basically
anything
said-
for you.
Greg-
I picked the Rams.
Greg believes in the Rams.
That's
he
right.
believes that this situation is going to be true. Elsewhere in the division, the 49ers playing host to the Chargers. And here's a fun note about Kyle Shanahan's team. They hit the over 3 of the past 4 weeks.
Okay.
It's all points for the San Francisco 49ers. 52 total, 67 against the Chiefs.
Just that many?
That's it. All that being said, let's start with Rachel's pick because Rachel agrees with the graphic that we just saw. She's got a point bonanza, 30-24 Niners, and I agree. Lots of points, though not that many though, 28-19. And I think we have to start with this Chargers team, who some people aren't expecting a lot of points from. Look back at this game against the Atlanta Falcons, and there was a plethora of drops. Opportunities that just went awry for the Chargers, whether it was Gerald Everett, Austin Eckler had a bad drop, Josh Palmer had this drop that was an interception. There were more points available for the Chargers that they just didn't get. I don't have them winning the game, but 28-19 49ers.
Well, I have the Niners winning as well. I have 26-18 in this matchup. I think that it's an interesting, we're kind of together here that, the Chargers aren't going to hold up their end of the bargain in terms of scoring enough points because no one's available. So Keenan Allen already out. Mike Williams, again, already out. But Austin Eckler has been a bright spot, and it's kind of fun to see these two marquee running backs going up against each other. Austin Eckler has scored all of the touchdowns in the last 5 weeks. He has been their entire offense. He's like the heart and the soul of everything that's going on. And unfortunately, when you're facing this type of defense in the Niners, it's just a lot harder. It's a lot harder to have the kind of success that we've seen Eckler have. I do think he's still going to have a good day. If you're playing him in fantasy, you're definitely not sick. You're not doing anything crazy like that. But it's just going to be a lot harder. It'd be nice if they had, one of their main wide receivers, but even one would be great.
Yeah.
But,
That Keenan Allen injury has crushed them. It's crazy the Chargers are that big of an underdog, and none of us are taking them to keep it close. I have the 49ers winning 28-17. Kyle Shanahan, and yes, we're getting that meme alert. Don't let us down, Kyle. Was worried about the running game a few weeks ago. And so what did he do? He traded for Christian McCaffrey. That'll improve your running game. And what does he get this week? Eli Mitchell coming back. Elijah Mitchell is a special running back. He is now maybe the best backup running back in the entire league. And you know what also helps your running game look a little better?
What's that?
Playing the Chargers. It was like the number one thing they said they were going to fix. They haven't fixed it. They're dead last in the league in yards per carry allowed. Yes, Cynthia?
I'm just waiting for what you're going to say next.
Why?
I don't know. I just am.
I feel like this is a trap. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying they're going to run well.
It's another meme alert. So take those screenshots, people. We get really angry. Rawr. Don't screenshot our meme alerts. We literally put meme alert on there. When we come back on here on Game Day View, Jeff Saturday once famously recovered a fumble. So here he is to save a fumbled season in Indy. How much do we believe in the Colts? Next.
Get your game day started Sunday at 7 a.m. Eastern with a special edition of Game Day Kickoff live from Germany, followed by the Seahawks and Buccaneers at 9:30 a.m. Let's go! In an unexpected turn of events, Tom Brady and the Bucs head into Week 10 looking up in the NFC standings at Geno Smith and the Seahawks. Colleen Wolfe, Willie McGinnis, and Joe Thomas get you set for kickoff live from the field in Munich. Plus, Kurt Warner sits down with former World Cup champion and U.S. men's national coach Jurgen Klinsmann to discuss the intersection of football and football.
American football, your football is just amazing.
Then at 9:30, Kurt joins me, Mooch, and Michael in the booth to call the game between the Seahawks and the Bucs. It all starts Sunday at 7 a.m. Eastern.
Looking forward to the league's debut in Germany. But looking back over here in the States, in the past 3 weeks, the Colts are 0-3. They fired their offensive coordinator, their head coach, and play caller. They played a game where they went 0 for 14 on third down, and they hired a former player who wasn't in the building consistently at any point in the season. So, Greg, how confident are you in Indianapolis?
Not that confident, but I'm not confident in the Raiders either to win a game by much. So I've got this game close. I do have the Raiders winning, but I don't see the Raiders as some big favorite when they're 2-6 and they're not getting consistent play out of their quarterback. Are we allowed to talk about Derek Carr at some point? Look, Carr, to me, hasn't played consistent football. In the second half of that game, he couldn't hit throws. In the second half of that game, their defense couldn't get any stops. They are dead last in DVOA, like efficiency on the defensive side this season. And Carr isn't a guy that really makes up for his surroundings. To me, he's a product of his surroundings, and his surroundings aren't great. So I know the Colts are a mess, but their defense has been fine. This should be a close, good game. I'd watch it.
You'd watch it?
I'm a sicko.
You'd watch it.
I'm saying it'll be like a fine football game.
I'd watch it. stirring endorsement for Greg Rosenthal.
Right. Okay, I agree with you. But I have a full touchdown win for the Raiders here, 24-17. Why? Because of Josh Jacobs. We did see in a number of games that he was able to be efficient and effective, which changed the entire ability for them to win. Now, I understand what we saw was a bit of a meltdown in the second half of that Jags game. However, I don't think that happens twice. I think this is one where Josh McDaniels knows that this is going to be a really important game. Remember, he was the one who left before Frank Reich was coming. There's a lot of full circle back here situation stuff. So I think this is one where they get back on the right side of the pirate ship, right?
Yeah, in their past, I guess, 4 halves. There's only been one good half of football for the Raiders, but you have to consider what's going on the other side. And I think Jeff Saturday may wind up being a great head coach. Parks Frazier may be one of the best play callers the NFL has ever seen. But here's what they're dealing with. It's a team that is last in touchdown percentage, the last in sacks allowed. In terms of points per game, they're the last in the entire NFL. They could be the greatest in history. I don't think they turn it around in 5 days. The Raiders, the winners this one in my pick, 25-12. So there it is, another meme alert. Although I don't know how the Colts fans would.
I don't feel that good about this one.
I have no idea.
We've been good on meme alerts, though. In week 9, we crushed it, 8-1. That's why you guys haven't been sending us pictures. 9 of the 14 games this week, by the way, are sweeps. So don't
doubt us.
Don't doubt. Let's get some quick picks. We start with the Giants taking on the Texans. Maybe that's why it's quick, Greg. Well, what are you doing?
I am going with the Giants here. I think the Giants are in an interesting situation now as a heavy favorite. Brian Daboll, he's been great, kind of this last-minute wins over teams that are supposed to be better than you. Okay, you're a big favorite now. Let's see how you handle it. You got a bunch of games like this down the stretch. 2 against the Commanders, 1 against the Lions. If you win these types of games you're supposed to, the Giants will be going to the playoffs. It's just a different sort of nut to crack for Brian Daboll, the next step for him.
A happy man celebrating. Elsewhere in the East, the Eagles are favored by 10.5 points against the Commanders, and I'm taking them to win, as I have done every single week. Thanks to the Eagles, I've been right about that. And here's how I think it plays out, because last time the Eagles played the Commanders, Devontae Smith went off. He had 8 catches, 143 yards, all before the half. And I think he does it again, and it's another nice, smooth 25-17 win for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's get to the Dolphins taking on the Cleveland Browns. Cynthia, what are you doing there?
So I'm going the Dolphins in this one, but maybe closer than expected, just a 3-point win, 26-23. I want to talk about Nick Chubb for a second, because he's the difference maker in this matchup, meaning I think that will put a cap on how many points are totally scored in this game. More running on both sides. Obviously, we have a great passer on the other side, and Tyreek Hill, etc., and Jalen Waddle, but I think the fact that the Browns will slow the ball game down a little bit means a closer and potentially lower scoring game.
Interesting. I've got 37-34,
Yeah.
so we're not on the same page.
We've all got a point bonanza.
It's still only 3 points, though.
Sure. We're close.
Fun game. We're looking forward to it. Also looking forward to NFL Knockout, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, a free-to-play game on NFL.com. Always love it.
Get better every week.
Win an exclusive VIP trip to experience the 2023 Pro Bowl, the 2023 NFL Draft, or Super Bowl 57 weekly. Answer 10 questions about Sunday's games and top the leaderboard to win a trip of a lifetime. Visit NFL.com/knockout to sign up, play, and win. Coming up, King Henry back at it, but it's gone up against a good defense. How do we feel?
I feel good.
On game debut?
Do you?
Not if I had to tackle that man.
No.
Or any man.
Want to stay up to date on the playoff race? Just tell Siri, show me football standings.
Thank you, Siri. As we look ahead to a team that's in first place in the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans, playing host to maybe a resurgent Denver Broncos team. Cynthia, what are we doing with this game?
Wait, resurgent? Why? Because they had a bye?
Well, they beat the Jaguars before that. In London, they won an international series game.
They did win an international series game, but I think that they're not going to win this one because I think Derrick Henry playing. There are a slew of injuries on that Titans defense. I will acknowledge that. But Derrick Henry's still playing, which means this is the opportunity for Derrick Henry to keep showing us why these Titans need him. He is incredibly valuable in terms of win share at the position. No running back is more valuable, in fact, this season to his team than Derrick Henry. So as long as Derrick Henry's playing, and by the way, this Broncos defense, they are without their pass rusher. He went to Miami, which I know Derrick Henry runs the ball. I get it. But the Achilles heel of the Broncos has been allowing someone to run, and Derrick Henry runs really well, even on teams that don't allow people to run.
Yeah, it's an easy case to make. I am, though, taking the Denver Broncos because one of the biggest pieces of this Tennessee Titans defense, Jeffrey Simmons, who almost single-handedly helped the Titans beat the Chiefs, although the offense didn't have enough in that game. But I'm looking at the other side in Jerry Jeudy and the way that Jerry Jeudy has gotten the ball the past 3 now Denver Broncos games, including a game where Russell Wilson didn't even play. It's tough. As much as I believe in the King and Derrick Henry, he had a great game against KC, and they still came up short. What do you think, Greg?
I think it'll be close because every single Broncos game is close and every single Titans game is close. And I'm going to take the Broncos. I don't feel that great about it. But
More prime numbers.
When I saw those we're giving you a prime number.
Again?
On a favorite, second one.
I don't feel good about this. This is the part of the season where Cynthia pulls away.
This is me raising the roof.
I don't care. I'm feeling unlimited this week.
There it is.
Wilson's going to get it going. This defense for the Broncos is great, and the pass rush is going to get after whoever's playing at quarterback. It looks like it'll be Ryan Tannehill. He did get limited practices in all week, but this Titans offensive line is one of the very worst in the league, just like it was a year ago. And you do have to throw occasionally to win a football game in 2022, and I think the Broncos will get after it.
All right, so we're not exactly putting a whole lot of mileage on the scoreboard in this one, but let's take a look at some total numbers this week. That is the lowest total over-under, but the Saints, Steelers, Colts, Raiders, Cardinals, Rams, all at 40.5 points via FanDuel. So let's get to another one of those low-scoring games. In Pittsburgh, where New Orleans visits, they're favored by 1.5, and for the past 3 weeks, Greg Rosenthal has been extolling the virtues of one Andy Dalton. Does he still have you, Greg?
No. Well, it's not so much Andy Dalton as the uniform that he puts on and the coaching staff that he plays for. Dennis Allen and this group are a mess. Like, come up with a way that you can be sloppy. And I see, they're having their fun in the back room, showing me a bunch of bad Dalton plays. You know, it's not all on Andy Dalton to me, but the offensive line doesn't know where the protection, what they're supposed to do. There's so many penalties, pre-snap penalties on both sides of the ball all season long. There's turnovers, there's fumbles, there's inexplicable injuries. Where is Marshawn Lattimore? He hasn't come back at all. They are so banged up that I'm taking the Steelers in this game, just as a punishment for how the Saints have hurt me.
Interesting. If you get our subtle nod, this is our. Anyways, look, I'm actually taking the Saints in this matchup, and kind of for a similar reason, because we're typically used to seeing the Steelers and thinking, wow, this pass rush is going to, your head's going to come flying off your body, whatever. 23-21 for me in this matchup. Alvin Kamara has a much better opportunity because Andy Dalton won't be under the type of pressure you think of when you typically think of Steelers. They haven't been generating that type of pressure. So this O-line, you're right. It's not the O-line we're used to. Obviously, pieces are missing. It's very different. But at the end of the day, they don't really need it to be in this matchup. So I think 2-point win for the Saints. You
mentioned injuries. Fingers crossed, maybe TJ Watt comes back in this game. The Saints lost Pete Werner in that game on Monday Night Football. And that had a huge impact because for the third time this season, the New Orleans Saints defense that was crushing run games gave up over 150 yards on the ground to the Baltimore Ravens. And in comes Najee, who's been dealing with the foot injury, taking a lot of heat online. He got the bye. Najee Harris is fine. I think Najee's going to be fine. And
boys versus girls.
Steelers offense, 25 confident. 25-24 win for the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. And it's boys versus
You know how Sean Payton keeps saying, it's like, I'm going to go look for a new coach, a new team to coach. It's like, there's a team in New Orleans that, loves you, that could use some better coaching, that has a lot of coaches on that staff that you know well. Just saying, like, the Saints could use a good coach. Maybe consider the Saints.
Yeah,
signed a big contract with them.
Number's still in the phone, Coach. Coming back, Justin Fields put up a lot of yards against Miami. What number does Cynthia Freeland project with her model, or what number does her heart have?
6,532.
That's next on Game Day View.
Rachel and KB here. KB, look where we are. When in Rome, right?
When in Munich.
Ah, dear.
When in Munich.
We're gonna go watch some of the other football at the Allianz Stadium.
All right, so I'm going with the Lions Stadium.
Allianz.
Maybe Aliens Stadium.
I am saying it in a French way. You're gonna love us in there.
I can tell we're off to a good start. Let's go ask them.
Fun.
We're from America. See you inside. Here we go. Yeah! So much gear. We found ourselves a playmaker, an old friend, number 88. Mike, what's up?
What's up, guys? I'm so happy to be here with you guys, man.
What do you think football is going to be like here? The other kind of football. On Sunday, you're calling the game.
Right, and that's what I want to see. That's why I wanted to even come tonight. I want to see how crazy the people get here. And then I want to do a comparative analysis on how crazy they get Sunday.
What if the 92 Cowboys had come here to Munich? What's that trip like? So I did one little kick, and I left a divot in the field. What if a player trips on that?
No footballers were harmed in the creation of that video. How do I make this transition? You know who's fluent in German? A huge Bayern Munich fan, and is playing football? It's Amon-Ra St. Brown. The Lions playing the Bears this weekend. Rachel believes in the Lions. Here's one thing. Cynthia picked against Detroit last week and has only picked the Bears once this season. So something has to give, Cynthia.
Oh, I mean, the Bears. The Bears win this game 26-22. I mean, what are we talking about here? Justin Fields, all those designed runs. You know who you can run on? The Lions. The Lions' best defensive player right now, he really has been a safety that they drafted in the 5th round. I mean, Kirby Joseph has looked pretty good.
Okay.
But other than that,
I know, but why does the model not look at last week when you said, oh, Aaron Rodgers always breaks our Lions fans' heart? He broke my heart last week because he didn't come through when I switched to pick the Packers. I don't know.
Greg's still trying to blame Cynthia for that. I can't blame Cynthia for the pick that she's making because I'm making the same pick for almost the exact same reason. I've got the Bears winning this one 29-25. And I'll take another aspect of this run game, but I'll talk about it on the other side. That's DeAndre Swift, and it's in the pass game as well. The reason that it's so close in this game to me is in terms of yards per opportunity. DeAndre Swift is literally the best running back in the NFL. The problem is they don't give him the opportunities right now. He's leading the NFL in that it's either a target or a carry. He's one of the best in the game. We love what the Lions offense has done at the start of the season. I don't think they do enough to counteract Justin Fields and the Bears on the ground.
He's been so fun to watch, and yet I'm taking the Lions in this game. You know,
What?
one of the reasons.
Are you lying?
No, I really am taking the Lions.
That's what he's doing.
One of the reasons the model ends up beating me almost every year, probably every year, is that like I go off the eye test a little bit, and I gotta say the eye test for the Lions defense, even though the numbers are terrible, since the bye, I think they're playing with better energy, better execution. Things have slowed down for Aiden Hutchinson. You mentioned in the secondary a couple good players. They played really strong against Dallas for almost that entire game, and then they looked great against the Packers a week ago. I think they're playing better on defense, and this Bears defense, on the other hand, has all but given up since they traded away Roquan Smith. And really they've been one of the worst defense in the league, so the Lions get it done.
Yeah, a couple of the best players are playing for somebody else. It's time for Do the Math, where we demand calculations from Cynthia. You said that the Bears are going to win. Is Justin Fields going to have 300 yards combined?
So I have 171 in the air and 52 on the ground. So no, it's less than 300 combined passing and rush yards. This means that there's probably opportunities for other running backs to get involved as well. I really think that this is going to be a slower paced game than that. I understand there's a lot to like about this Lions off. I get it. I like the Lions. I love the Lions. At 10:01 Pacific, I will be rooting for the Lions. But Justin Fields isn't going to have 300 combined yards.
All right, so instant math from Cynthia Freeland. Let's get to the Jags and the Chiefs. The Chiefs giving up 9.5, Greg.
I don't think that's enough. We got Patrick Mahomes involved here. I'm taking the Chiefs to win this game comfortably. I mean, how many different ways can we say that Patrick Mahomes is great? I think he's reaching a different level of greatness. I know it wasn't his best game against the Titans, but the couple of plays that he made, falling down, and Kelsey makes the great catch for him, it's like time is just moving in slow motion. He stepped out in his second year, Patrick Mahomes, and he was the best quarterback in the league. He was an MVP. Trevor Lawrence is in his second year now, and it's so unfair to compare anyone to Patrick Mahomes, but those are the two guys that are playing in this game, and I think the two defenses are comparable, and so I think the Chiefs win by 10 points because Mahomes can do stuff like this where he just slows down time.
He slows down time, stops, cuts back, and then makes a throw across his body. There's so many parts to examine in the Chiefs offense. There's Juju Smith-Schuster. They just went and got Kadarius Toney, but it's all just to cover up the fact that one thing is true. Patrick Mahomes is going to throw the ball to Travis Kelsey. If there's one certainty on this planet, that's it. There's going to be shifts and motions. Oh, CEH, it's Jarrett McKinnon. It all doesn't matter. If he sees one-on-one or man coverage, the ball's going to 87. I've got 35-22 Chiefs winning.
I have the same margin as you, Greg, so I have 31-21 in this matchup in favor of the Chiefs. But I do want to point out, there is a little bit, oh, there's our meme alert. There's a little bit of a feeling of a potential, like, trap game. So here's where, because, you know, last week was a big game. Next week, they flexed to the night game against the Chargers. The only reason I say Travis Etienne could have one of those games where he keeps it slightly closer than 10 points. I am not calling for an upset. I'm saying that it could be like 31-23 because Etienne has been doing such a good job, and it is really worth noting that without Frank Clark there, again serving that suspension, his second game of his suspension, there could be more space for him to run. So it's not that I'm saying it's a trap in terms of not winning, but trap in terms of less than 10. Okay, I can give you that.
As long as nobody in Duval County lets anybody in KC know. Don't tell them that Cynthia said it, because then they'll try extra hard. Either way, do you have a pen, a notes app?
Do it.
Can you mark on the dust on top of your television? Yes, you, Gary. Clean your house. It's time for you to write this down. Coming up next on Game Day View.
Come on, Gary. We're talking.
We're back on Game Day View, and it's time for you to write this down. And I'm telling you, it's important to write these down because last week, Cynthia told you Devontae Adams would have more than 6 catches. That's actually how many he ended up with in the first quarter. He had 9 in the first half, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. The second half, he only had 1, but that's not Cynthia's problem.
Nope.
I texted her when this happened. I was watching this game. Oh, Devontae's already over 7 catches. And she's like, I'm not even home yet.
I wasn't even home yet. Driving home from work. It's crazy.
All right, so how are we following it up, Cynthia? What's your write this down?
You ready? You got this? Cole Kmet. He's going to have at least 3 catches. You got it. It's easy. That's all you have to. It's an easy one, right? Cole Kmet has been a really sure-handed situation there for Justin Fields. And listen, you talk about the Lions defense being better. They're not that much better. They're not going to stop Cole Kmet from catching 3 passes. 3!
Love that ball handling from Justin Fields. Also love Geno Smith. You guys know that.
Clearly.
And the Seahawks should not be underdogs this week. They are going to win outright in Germany. They forgot to put the Seahawks in primetime enough. They didn't know they were going to be as good as they are. Well, this is what they have for a primetime game. The whole world can watch. Germany's going to be chanting Geno's name by the end of this victory for Geno Smith and the Seahawks.
We already had Rachel chanting Geno with herself earlier on. The Geno chant is alive and well. I like that pick. I like points in Santa Clara. In fact, we told you earlier, they've had the over in 3 of the last 4 weeks. What's the math there? 4 of the last 5 weeks after this one. 45 points between the Chargers and the 49ers on Sunday night.
I heard you also like to dance.
Yeah.
Do I like to dance?
You're like dancing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. This is what happens when somebody plays Pump Up the Jam.
Pump the jam. Pump
I
it
can't
up.
trust anybody. I can't trust anybody.
That was